Meeting is streaming live.
Started?
Yeah, it's showing the
Okay.
message.
Okay, their recording starts. Okay, recording to the cloud.
Okay. Namaskar. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Inspiring Indian Women Presence Health and Wellbeing Sessions. We have started yesterday, and each day at 6 p.m., we are going to bring you some amazing guests. So please keep on watching and keep it in your diary that 6 p.m. is the time when we go live. And today we have a wonderful guest. Her name is Sangeeta Bhandari. She's an experienced and certified yoga teacher and instructor. And you will have an opportunity to ask her questions as well. But yoga is my favorite thing to do anyway. I'm also a certified yoga teacher. But today we have Sangeeta Bhandari, and please make sure that you share this video, you keep on commenting. That way more people can join, and the whole point of this inspiring Indian woman is bringing everybody together. And in these tough times, we all face various issues. It could be anxiety, it could be stress, it could be just going on too much pressure around. And I believe that yoga is the cure for everything. So we will bring you everyday wonderful guests. But today I welcome Sangeeta Bhandari, a yoga teacher. Over to you, Sangeeta ji.
Good evening,
Welcome.
everybody. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to be here. And one of the things that I'm very often asked is that where did I study? What are my qualifications? And where has my education been in terms of yoga? So, and people are very surprised when I first say that I started my yoga journey, studying journey of yoga when I was living in Hong Kong. Prior to that, as an Indian, yoga has been part and parcel of our lives. I don't think we take it that seriously, or at that time in my younger days, I didn't take it as seriously because it's something you take for granted. It's part and parcel of you. But it's only when I went to live in India with my husband's job that this desire for me to learn yoga from within came. But I couldn't do any course over there because it all clashed with my children's timings. But when we moved to Hong Kong, one of the first leaflets that dropped into my lap was a yoga teacher training program. And that was my first introduction to yoga as a study, to yoga as a training, rather than just going to yoga classes. And I completed my training there, 250 hours with the Yoga Alliance. But not satisfied, I went on to do another course, another Yoga Alliance course, and this time in Ashtanga Yoga with an Irish teacher in Thailand, a very intensive study. And I was still not satisfied because I felt, amongst my classes, I was the only Indian teacher studying there. And I wasn't the most flexible. Every time a teacher had to pick someone to do a pose to demonstrate, it was never me. And that bothered me because I said, if I can't do it, how are the teachers going to reach out and teach others? Because most of us, every time I talk to anyone and tell them I'm a yoga teacher, the first thing they tell me is I'm not flexible, And that's exactly what I used to say. I'm not flexible. How do I do yoga? So training as a teacher, I encountered this issue yet again in the training. And that's when I realized, again, this voice within me said, it's not about the physical practice alone. There is more to yoga that has made it popular. It can't just be the physical practice. With the Western teachers, there's a lot of emphasis on the physical practice. And that's fine. As far as if that's what you want, that's fine. When I started my training, that's where I started off as well. And a lot of people come into yoga because of the physical practice. But what kept me going was the desire to know more. And what hooked me on was the philosophy. That is what really hooked me, sank me, and got me, and has made me a lifelong learner. And that's when I knew I had to make my journey to India, having done some research. My path took me towards Chennai, and I ended up with one of the premier institutes of India, the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. And I haven't stopped learning. It's made me a lifelong learner and a desire to continue this journey forever. So that's where my journey started from.
Yeah. These were all my questions, but thank you for answering them without asking. So that's what yoga teachers are like. They are so intuitive that I had a couple of sets of questions, but you've answered everything, covered everything so brilliantly. Also, I would like to welcome Kamuben Patel here. Welcome, Kamuben. She's our chief guest for today, and she herself is a yoga instructor and a very, very inspiring personality. Welcome, Kamuben, to Inspiring Indian Women's Wellbeing Sessions. How are you doing today, Kamuben? Just show me a thumbs up sign.
Now, thank you so much, ladies, for introducing. Yes, I am good, thank you. Yes, Darshana.
Very, very pleased to see you, Kamuben, and please keep coming. So, Sangeeta ji, over to you again. I wanted to cover a few more questions. So, did you go to India, and what lineage was it? If you can tell us a bit more about that.
Certainly. So the school that I ended up in after doing some research was in Chennai, called the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. I don't know if many people have heard of Krishnamacharya, but those in the yoga world should definitely know about him. He is known as the father of modern yoga, and most teachers can stretch their connection back to him in some form or the other. Now, Krishnamacharya taught different styles of yoga at different stages of life. So people have heard of Iyengar. Iyengar was his student, and Iyengar uses a lot of props in his alignment. Iyengar was also his brother-in-law. People have also heard of Ashtanga Yoga, where power yoga comes from. And Patabi Joyce trained under Krishnamacharya as a young boy. So hence the practice he brought back was this Ashtanga practice, a very powerful practice, very suited to younger people, keep them mentally occupied and physically challenged. His son, Krishnamacharya's son, is Desikachar. He is known to be the man who brought the stick figures to the yoga world. So if you are yoga teachers and you draw the stick figures, they come as a courtesy from Desikachar. And Desikachar also brought yoga therapy to the Western world. His style of teaching is very often known as Vini Yoga, step-by-step progression under the guidance of a teacher. However, both Krishnamacharya and Desikachar never labeled their yoga because their belief was yoga belongs to everybody. There is a big tradition in the West that you start naming yoga after certain rock star yoga personalities. So Krishnamacharya never did that. And one more thing about this lineage was they are the first lineage that encouraged women to chant, because Krishnamacharya recognized if you had to keep this tradition going, you had to involve the women. And today, most of my teachers who teach us, majority of them are women, and they are fantastic.
We can mute others. Please mute yourself as you join. Apologies. Sorry.
Yes, I've just muted everyone, and please continue.
Okay, thank you very much, Rashmi. So these things do happen. So apologies if there is any interruption. Sangeeta ji, my next question was, what is the difference between a yoga teacher and a yoga therapist?
Okay, so all yoga therapists are also yoga teachers because that is a prerequisite in their training. So very often it's either a 200 or 250 hour course that they do to become a yoga teacher. And a yoga teacher's emphasis is primarily on a physical practice, but it's not to say that they won't bring in breathing techniques and meditation. They'll also bring in a spiritual angle. It depends from teacher to teacher. The idea for a yoga teacher is to bring the yoga techniques to the students. Whereas a yoga therapist trains much longer hours, anything from 500 and above. They don't come with the pre-planned idea of what a class is going to be like. The class is always individual based. It's one-to-one. It's based on the needs of the student. They evaluate the student on a holistic level. They look at their background, their lifestyle, their sleep pattern, their exercise pattern, their work, their exercise regime, everything they look at. And depending on what their health conditions are, what their mental conditions are, they look at the symptoms, they try to decipher what the causes are. And then with the student, they work at what the student's goals are, and then bring the yoga techniques or tools that are relevant to help them achieve those goals. So it's a very bespoke practice. So for example, somebody may come into a general fitness class thinking yoga is going to help them, and they may have a back problem, but actually they may realize that the back issues become worse because a general fitness class will not address a specific problem. No, a teacher may give modifications, they may offer all those things, but overall, in a group session, you cannot give that focus to one person. Whereas in a yoga therapy session, your goal is personalized towards that individual to deal with their needs and give them a practice that is relevant to their specific needs. And that's the prime difference. So yoga therapists also have to know medically, they need to understand some of the medical issues also. They're not medics, but they need to understand them. Just like a physiotherapist works, so a yoga therapist works, and they bring the element of breath into the practice that they give their student. Depending on what the student's issues are, they also bring relaxation at the mental level using yoga tools. So depending on the time a student have, they might give you 2 practices, one for daytime and one for evening. So it all depends on what the student comes with and what their needs are.
Right. So would you say that healing happens when you, if you have any issue and you want to tackle maybe like a back problem, then healing happens through if you take yoga therapeutically?
Definitely. Traditionally, yoga was always taught one-to-one. Because every day we are changing. Every day our thought processes are changing. What you thought yesterday is very different today, So you went to your teacher was your holistic guide, The teacher gave you a practice, you did that on a daily level. So if you look at the Yoga Sutras, there is not many sutras that are related to the asana at all. I think there are only 2 sutras out of the 194 that relate to just asana practice. And you look at the weightage given to asana practice.
You're talking about Maharishi Patanjali Yoga Sutra,
yes,
correct?
I'm talking about the philosophy of yoga that comes from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. But Yoga Sutras were compiled by Patanjali, but it wasn't exactly his ideas. It was ideas which were in the period at that time, which was already in the thought process. So healing begins when you are dealing with your issues at a bespoke level. I'm not saying that group classes don't have their place. Yes, when you have a general good level of fitness, group classes have their role to play. But if you have any specific physical or mental needs, then a one-to-one session is the best way to go forward.
And would you say that all yoga styles are suitable for everybody, or is it like different styles for different people?
The fact that we have different types of yoga is an indication that not everything is suitable to everyone. And again, I reiterate, we are different, our needs are different, our life journeys are different. So in my younger days, I did Ashtanga yoga, I did it daily, I enjoyed it, I loved it. Today, at this age in my life, I can't do Ashtanga yoga. I cannot do the full series. It's just not appropriate for me at this stage. This took me a while to understand. So whilst I was in Hong Kong, I was very fortunate to live near a yoga studio. And as I mentioned, that my training started in Hong Kong, so I was still going for a lot of external classes. I was menopausal. I was going for hot yoga. I was going for power yoga. I was going for Ashtanga yoga. I was going for vinyasa flow. And I would come back and tell myself, why am I still so tired? Why don't I feel this relaxation? Why isn't this body, mind, spirit coming together? It's only when I went to train in India and I appreciated that each stage of your life, you need to honor your body. You need to change your practice with the changing stages of your life, that I realized what I did in Hong Kong was not the correct practice for me. You may think you're sweating it out and you're giving your body exactly what you need, but no. So first of all, the awareness has to come that there are changes in the body. And then with those changes, you have to recognize what is your capacity, because yoga is not about trying hard. It's not about going in that zone of pain. It's about being comfortable in your practice, working to your capacity, feeling relaxed in that practice, not coming out feeling tired, feeling washed out, feeling drained. That means that is not the right yoga practice for you. So you really need to honor your body and choose the right practice for you.
Correct. Very
That is why I tell my
explained.
students, you should go try out different classes, see which teacher appeals to you, and then stay there. And that doesn't mean that's the end of the journey, because as you change, your needs change. You might then have to change and go to another teacher if you're not getting what you need from this teacher, because each teacher tries to give their best, but you are at a different journey. So you need to find the right teacher for you at the right journey for you.
So what kind of work do you do with the yoga training that you have had?
My work falls into two categories primarily. So as a yoga teacher, I do a lot of group sessions online now. Everything is online. So I do a lot of online sessions, which is for general fitness, and anybody can come there. I also do sessions for a lot of charitable organizations. I do meditative sessions for them. Some of them for people working with women from refugee backgrounds seeking asylum. I also do a lot of work with cancer patients and people with Alzheimer's and diabetes and dementia. So that has been my ongoing seva work that I do. Then as a therapist, I do a lot of one-to-one sessions dealing with different issues that people have and giving them bespoke practices. I also work at the corporate level where I combine both as a group session as well as a therapy session for the wellness of each staff. I do workshops for stress management. I do workshops for team building. So depending on what the company needs or what the people need, I provide that workshop for them. So my yoga classes are dependent on what my students' needs are. So the philosophy that my Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram has instilled in us is that teach from your heart, but not as it applies to you, as it applies to your student. So that is my guiding principle. So there is no work that is beyond what I can do. It all depends on what my students need, and that is what I provide to them.
So you keep using this word wellness. What is your understanding of the word wellness?
In 1957, and I think in one of my previous workshops I had relayed this, the WHO defined wellness as your physical well-being, your mental well-being, and your social well-being. Ayurveda, which is a sister science of yoga, 5,000 years ago, defines an additional element, includes physical, mental, social, and also spiritual well-being. So this is the definition that I go by as to what is wellness. And in my classes, we work on the yoga themes that come from cultivating those right values.
So what disrupts our wellness?
What disrupts our wellness today is the lifestyle. A lot of it comes from the stresses that we build up. Now, one of the things that people need to understand is that stress by itself is not a bad thing. It's stress that has got mankind doing the kind of things that we're doing. The problem is when we don't allow ourselves to relax. So when let's just understand a little bit about what the stress system is. What does stress do to our body? So the moment you feel any kind of pressure, any stress, in the olden days, it was when you went hunting or when you had the fear of animals attacking you. So the natural inbuilt response, and this is from our ancestors, was either to fight or to run away. And these days,
Fight or flight.
Fight or flight, so in a fight, you get aggressive. In a flight, you run away. You can also freeze. So what is the body doing at this time? There's a lot of changes that are happening in the body when you are faced with this situation. So the brain is sending signals to the stress hormones. Adrenaline and cortisol are released in the body, and they lead to various other actions in the body. So when you're going to fight or flight, your hands have to be ready, your feet have to be ready. So a lot of blood has to be pumped into your externalities. Your heart has to beat really hard to pump that blood. Your lungs have to work really hard to bring in the oxygen, so your breath becomes really shallow. Your pain receptors go down because you don't have time to think about pain at this time. You're either going to be fighting this or running away from the situation. And as a consequence, your liver is also producing a lot of energy to give you that energy to get ready to fight or fly. But as a result of this, a lot of other systems shut down, or they're not that important. And this is your digestive system, your immune system, and your reproductive system. So imagine for a moment that you go from one activity to the other, as we had been doing. I'm hoping that during COVID times, people have had an opportunity to be a little bit more relaxed, given that they're not traveling and they've had that release of time. But imagine that you're going from one thing to the other without coming back to your normal natural level or what the body's level was. So you're always going to be operating from elevated levels. And this is what causes the problem today to our wellness. So digestive issues, IBS, constipation, we hear a lot of these problems. So many young people coming to me with PCOD problems, infertility problems, so many people having problems with autoimmune issues. So you can understand why this is happening. If you see that these are the very systems that stress does not allow to operate to their maximum. So it is really, really important that we give ourselves this downtime, which is why, as you mentioned earlier, that yoga is the perfect antidote, because it looks after not just your body. In the asana practice, it activates your parasympathetic nervous system. The stress response is activating your sympathetic nervous system. So it balances your internal system out. It brings that activity, that relaxation to your stomach, to everywhere. These aches and pains in our body that we get is again because of the blood going only to certain parts. So yoga relaxes all your systems internally. It gives you a breathing practice that again activates the relaxation response in your body.
Sorry, just 1 minute. Somebody is asking that, yes, Kamuben, we are going to do yoga. So if you just bear with us for few minutes, if you can stay with us, that would be really, really great. So Sangeeta ji, I wanted to ask you that from whatever you're saying, I understand that yoga helps in overall well-being. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
So shall we go ahead and maybe you can teach a bit of yoga to us?
Certainly, it'll be my pleasure. So the practice that I'm going to do today is not a very physical practice. So when we come into a meditative practice, mindfulness is a term that is used very often, and it's often used distinct from yoga. Meditation, likewise, is often used distinct from yoga. But part and parcel of yoga is your meditative practice, is your breathing practice, is your asana practice, is the cultivation of right attitudes. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a light asana practice, leading to a breathing practice, and then leading into a meditation. Okay,
we have a few minutes, so let's be mindful of time.
Yes.
Okay.
How much time do I have?
Maybe at least, let's say 12 to 15 minutes.
Oh, 12 to 15 minutes. Okay. So sitting comfortably.
A little bit here and there, not to worry too much.
Okay. Thank you. So if you can all just sit comfortably, sit cross-legged, sit up straight, or you can sit with your legs extended out. Take a few minutes here. Sit up tall, chin lightly in, shoulders relaxed, eyes soft. As you inhale, take your arms up from the sides. As you exhale, lower your hands back down. Inhaling, take your arms up, palms together if it's comfortable. Exhaling and lower your hands back down. Inhaling, take your arms up, interlace your fingers, turn your palms over. Exhaling, come to a side stretch. Inhaling, come back to center. Exhaling over to the other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to one side. Inhale and back to center. Exhale and twist to the other side. Inhale and back to center. Exhale, release your hands back down. Inhale, take your arms up, reach up. Exhale, bow to one side, relax the head and shoulders. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bow to the other side, relax the head and shoulders. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bow forward, relax the head and shoulders. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, lower your hands down. Close your eyes. Bring your awareness to the flow of your breath. Notice your breath, allow it to settle. Bring your awareness to the tip of your nose and just notice the sensation that you feel as the breath flows in and out. Notice the temperature of the air. Notice the quality of your breath. Notice if your inhale is longer than the exhale or the other way around. There are no right or wrong answers. It's just being comfortable in your own breath. And visualize that as you breathe in through the nose, the air gets filtered, it gets moistened and warmed. It flows down your throat, branching into your lungs, where the exchange of gases happens. How beautifully your body takes in what it requires and releases what it doesn't. See if you can breathe in and out through the nose. If that is a challenge, then breathe in through the nose. And as you breathe out, just slightly part your lips. Otherwise, try to breathe in and out through the nose. Notice the pauses between your breath after each inhale and each exhale. As your breath becomes comfortable, bring your hands to rest on your belly. And as you breathe in, allow your belly to lift. As you breathe out, let the belly go back in towards the spine. Very often we're breathing in the opposite way. So make sure the tummy rises as you breathe in and the tummy falls as you breathe out. Take one hand to your chest, leaving one hand on your belly. Now when you breathe in, notice how the chest lifts and the tummy rises, feeling that expansion. And as you breathe out, the tummy goes in and the chest relaxes. With each inhale, feeling an expansion. With each exhale, feeling a relaxation. See if you can begin to breathe in through the nose, into the chest and into the belly. And breathing out, belly, chest and nose. Take a few breaths in this way. Breathing in, nose, chest and belly. Breathing out, belly, chest and nose. And then slowly release your hands. We're going to introduce a little chant now. The chant is Om Shanti Hi. We're going to chant on the exhale. Inhaling, take your arms up, palms together. Exhaling, chant with me. Om Shanti. Bringing your arms down. We repeat this. Inhale, arms up, palms together. Exhaling, arms down, chanting. Om Shanti.
Shanti.
Inhale, arms up, palms together. Exhale, chanting.
Om Shanti.
One more time. Inhale, arms up, palms together. Exhale, chanting. Om
Om Shanti.
I'd like you to repeat this 2 more times, mentally chanting this time on the exhale. You do this by yourself, eyes closed. Start when you're ready, mentally chanting. As you finish, bring your hands to rest on the top of your head. So we're going to chant each syllable and we're going to move our hands. So if I can just demonstrate first. So I chant Om and I take my hands to my shoulders. Om. Shantihi, I take my hands to the outer edges to my hips. Shantihi. Om, I take my hands along my thighs to touch my knees. Om. Shantihi, I touch my feet. So in this way, we're going to just bring this visualization of peace to each part of our body. So beginning with your hands to your head, eyes closed. Om. Hands to
Om
shoulders.
Shanti.
Shanti. Hands to hips. Om. Hands to knees. Shanti. To feet. Again. Hands to head. Om.
Om
Shanti. Om.
Om
Shanti. One more time. Om.
Shanti.
Om. Shanti.
Shanti.
Now we bring our hands out. As you chant, you then bring your hands to your heart center, visualizing you're bringing this peace to your heart. Om
Oh,
Shanti.
Shanti.
3 more times. Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.
Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.
Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.
Let us now send this peace to all beings everywhere. As we chant, we're going to take our arms out to the sides as wide as we can. So begin with your hands to your heart. Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.
Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.
Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.
One more time. Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti.
Bring your hands to rest on your thighs. Close your eyes. And just bring your attention to how you feel, observing your breath. Allowing every part of your body to feel peaceful. If there is any tension or tightness anywhere, guide your breath, and on the exhale, mentally chant Om Shanti. And slowly bring your hands to your heart center, feeling a sense of gratefulness for this chance to nourish your body, to quieten your mind. Let us close this practice with one chant of Om and 3 Shantis. Take a deep breath in. Om Shanti,
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 Shanti.
Shanti.
We wish for peace for ourselves, peace in our interactions with others, peace in all our interactions with factors beyond our control. Thank you so much for being here today, sharing this moment. The divinity within me bows to the divinity within each of you. Namaste.
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 That was wonderful, wonderful, Sangeeta ji. So tell us more about your classes. How can people join your classes? Can you put your number on the chat, and maybe you can read out your number, because this is live on YouTube, so they can't attend the Zoom session. So people will be watching later on as well. Can I please request you to keep on sharing this video? And if you have any questions, do get in touch with me, or do get in touch with Sangeeta Bhandari. And IIW is here to help you and guide you. And these tough times are not going to last. Everything is going to be fine. We all are together, and we all are strong, because we are inspiring Indian women. Sangeeta ji, your phone number or website or your email,
Yes,
whatever.
my phone number is 073 91664791. And you can find me, I repeat that again, 073 91664791. And I have a Facebook page. You can see me as a Yoga Yatra Studio. I am not very tech savvy, so I have only few things on my Facebook page, but there are things I hope you find inspiring. I did a whole series on the lockdown called My Lockdown Tools. So I hope that if you look at my Facebook page, you might be inspired with that. Okay.
Can you please mute yourself, everybody else, please?
And I also run my classes every week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's a 45-minute session where I bring a yoga theme, I bring pranayam and meditation in the practice as well. So it's every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I do one-to-one sessions as well as a yoga therapist. If anybody has any ailments, any mental issues, anything whatsoever, I'm happy to help them. If you want to know more, please do give me a call. And my number again is 073 91 664791. Okay.
Thank you, Sangeeta ji. That was wonderful, wonderful. We have got lovely, lovely comments here. Of course, I cannot read all of them, but a few. It was lovely. Thank you. Very powerful and inspiring. Will you be able to share this? Yes, we have shared the number. And comments, please keep them coming. That's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, again, 6 p.m., we are meeting. We are having a session with Mandy Sergi, and I cannot tell you how wonderful his sessions are. So make sure that you log in sharp 5 minutes before 6 o'clock and stay tuned. Thank you for being with us this evening. It was really, really wonderful to bring you these sessions, and it has just started. So more is coming. Thank you again, Sangeeta ji, for being
My
with
pleasure.
us. And we are inspiring Indian women, and we continue to inspire you and ourselves. And stay safe, stay healthy, keep smiling, and keep doing yoga and meditation. Namaste. This is your
Absolutely.
host,
Namaste.
Darshana
Thank you,
Shah.
everyone.
Always a pleasure to host IIW events. And it's Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very much.
just a minute, what is there tomorrow?
I have
Tomorrow we
already said
have,
it that we have Mandy Sir tomorrow, and it's a wonderful session. It's a session that
yes,
you cannot miss. I cannot tell you how beautiful Mandy Sir explains things about life and also the spirituality. His style is so different, and yet a layman can understand it, and a very advanced spiritual person can understand it. So he caters to all age groups and all levels. So make sure you attend the session tomorrow. I have attended his sessions, and I love attending his session. So anything else? Otherwise, it's bye for now, and see you all tomorrow 6 p.m.
See you.
yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, Manjulika. Bye,
Thank you.
Pratibha. Bye,
Thank you,
Renu.
Sangeeta.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you,
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Rashmi.
Aarti Shukla. Thank you so much, Kishore and Tara.
Thank you.
I really liked the way you chanted. It was very nice. First, I thought I'll mute, but no, I said no. This voice is very nice, repeating behind, that om. It was very soothing. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care, all. Have a good,
Bye.
safe
See you
night.
tomorrow.
Bye.
See
Good
you
night,
tomorrow
Bye,
6 p.m.
Rashmi.
Manjulika.
Well, bye.
PM
Thank
it
you
is.
for coming,
Bye.
Thank you,
Manjulika.
everyone.
Joining
Thank
Manju
you.
also. Hey, Sarika.
We have
Bye.
Hi.
Sarika as well. Wow.
Yes.
Bye.
I was listening. It's so good. It's so good. Actually, my little one was also saying, "Oh," so I was laughing.
I know.
But very nice, lovely session. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
take care.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you,
Bye.
Renuji,
Thank
Manjulika,
you,
Uma.
Sangeeta.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Darshana.
I
Thank you so
enjoyed it.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Sangeeta. See you. Catch
Very
up
welcome.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye, Nita. Bye, Uma.
Bye.
Thank you, Rashmi.